This video topic is ridiculous and you're going to dislike this video and you're not going to like the fact that I made it, but I'm going out there and talking about it because I've seen this pop up more than once on social media, and now there's an article written about this as well, which is kind of getting my spidey senses tingling, saying, hey, not that this is going to happen, but why can't we go out there and make a video about this? Why not talk about the idea of Auston Matthews, Toronto Maple Leafs superstar and current player who needs a contract, and the potential of him leaving Toronto. Now, this is actually a video we did make last year. We'd already gone over the hypothetical situation of Matthews not signing an extension with the Toronto Maple Leafs, going to free agency, and signing with one of these Southwest teams in the National Hockey League, either the Vegas Golden Knights, the Arizona Coyotes, his hometown team, the Sharks, the Ducks, or the Kings, any one of the teams in that warmer area of the States. And quite frankly, that is the second most viewed video on this YouTube channel, and yeah, I'm not going to go out there and say that's going to happen again with this video, but what I wanted to talk about was the extended idea of Auston Matthews and one of these Southwest teams. Let's talk today about the San Jose Sharks. Because, and I'm going to be very clear with where this idea is coming from, I have seen it pop up on my social media feed more than once. The first time I really saw this pop up and decided to explore the idea was a few days ago when this post made by Kitchen County 1170 was made on the San Jose Sharks subreddit. Is going for Auston Matthews plausible? Matthews becomes a UFA after this season and will be fair game pending he doesn't sign with Toronto for the 24-25 year. Can or should the Sharks make an offer? Greer wants a quick rebuild. We will have the cap space, especially if we flip Granlund and Hoffman at the trade deadline. He sort of fits into the 2025-2026 timeline when Will Smith and Quentin Musty are ready. Thoughts? And you could imagine the Sharks fans in the comments section going out there and just discussing it. Hey, this might not be too plausible, but the Sharks, if they did have themselves the opportunity to do it, they'd probably try, right? If Matthews is a free agent next year, the Sharks have no reason to not go out there and try to test the waters a little bit. They already did that with John Tavares. They offered him the most expensive AAV contract in the NHL's history, but he declined and took a cheaper deal with Toronto. They might do something similar with Matthews. That was the first instance wherein I actually thought about this idea, this Reddit post on the Sharks sub. The next time I thought about it was a few days later when I saw this article pop up on InsideTheRink.com from August 10th. This was written by, who's the writer here? We actually don't have a writer. Oh man, it's just tagged with Atlantic Division, Mike Greer, Musty, Sharks, Matthews. Here's the article that I'm talking about. Auston Matthews, future San Jose Shark. And also in the body of this article is a very good jersey swap. I want to steal this and use it for the thumbnail of this video. Big credit over to Mackenzie Hansen for making this swap possible. But the article goes out there and talks about this idea. As Auston Matthews approaches the end of his contract with the Leafs in 2024, a cloud of uncertainty hangs over his future with the team, prompting speculation about his potential departure next year. If he hits the open market, it begs the question, could we see Matthews rock the Sharks teal? The article goes out there and admits that it's crazy and probably not in the best interest of the Sharks at this point in time, but let's have some fun. The article dives deep in the idea as to whether or not Matthews would want to leave Toronto, and would he find his way onto San Jose. The article says, honestly, Matthews would be the perfect complement to the young talent in San Jose, as well as to their remaining core of seasoned players. The Sharks are in a rebuild, and while they're making strides, a player of Matthews' caliber could significantly expedite their journey back to contender status. However, there are some challenges to consider. While Matthews would undoubtedly elevate the Sharks roster, some believe he might not seamlessly fit into the current team's timeline. The Sharks are cultivating young prospects, and Matthews' arrival might disrupt the planned development trajectory. On the other hand, his presence could potentially push these prospects to grow faster than anticipated, turning the team into contenders sooner than expected. The article then dives into the idea that the Sharks are going to get even more young players that are really good. If they're going to finish last in next season's worth of play, they might get Macklin Celebrini, but with the emerging talents like William Eklund, Will Smith, Quentin Musty, Thrun, Krona, and more, it's possible to see this team bolster themselves up even further, and Matthews could be the link that has everybody gluing together and forming this team that could be amazing when everybody hits their prime. Add to that the idea that Filip Zadina is a reclamation project. If you had these two playing together, Matthews and Zadina, and you actually was able to get the best out of Filip, this could be a really intriguing pair. Ultimately, the article goes out there and concludes this: while the Sharks can and should extend an offer to Matthews, there are no certainties in the hockey world. Will he leave Toronto? Will San Jose make an offer? Will Matthews accept? These questions remain unanswered. Who knows? Maybe Marleau and Thornton will be able to do some convincing to their former teammate. Now, of course, the article is just taking a little fun idea and just writing about it hypothetically, but it does beg the question as to whether or not this could be a good idea. This article was posted onto the Sharks subreddit, and you had a bunch of Sharks fans going out there and memeing in the comments saying, yeah, nobody has suggested a 1-for-1, Kevin Labanc for Auston Matthews, stuff like that, right? But at the end of the day, this is an idea that you could only really talk about with rose-tinted glasses. A lot of things would need to go right in order for this conversation to really dive into something with more substance behind it, and it all starts out with Toronto not re-signing the guy. And that, in and of itself, is a really big ask. It's going to be difficult to find a Toronto Maple Leafs timeline where they don't re-sign Matthews, especially with all the other stuff going on with Nylander. Everybody's talking about how Matthews is the priority there. If the Maple Leafs end up not re-signing the guy, then hey, that's going to be crazy, and we're going to have bigger conversations at our hands than whether or not it's going to be San Jose that ends up signing Matthews. Of course, though, anything is possible. If he does go to free agency, then, as we had talked about in the other video a year ago, these California teams, these Nevada teams, these Arizona teams, they definitely do have more of a, let's just say, hometown vibe to Matthews and his identity as a human being, so maybe that gives them a leg up in some sort of contract negotiations, who really knows? And besides, if a lot of these teams that are in rebuild status decide to just give the bag to Matthews, hey, here's $16 million because screw the rest of the other teams, Matthews might have some sort of incentive to sign with San Jose or sign with Arizona, who will give him as much money as he wants, while also giving him ample opportunity to grow alongside of their young guys. I'm not going to go out there and say that anything is definitive, but having Matthews and Eklund together on the same line, Will Smith, Filip Zadina, if everything works out, this could be phenomenal. And of course, there is that connection with Thornton and Marleau as well. Of course, the San Jose Sharks guys that have been Toronto Maple Leafs guys at the same time. It's kind of funny to see that connection, but for Auston Matthews and his contract negotiation extension conversations, it all starts out with base zero. Can the Maple Leafs get this contract done? At the time of recording this audio, there has not been a contract extension awarded to Matthews, so everything is fair game at this point. But because it is fair game, you have articles like this popping up, Matthews and the Sharks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a San Jose Sharks fan, how does it feel knowing that this is an idea that is being tossed around there online? How does it feel knowing that after Toronto snubbed you guys on John Tavares, you would have given him the highest AAV dollar amount contract in the NHL's history, but he took a cheaper hometown discount? How does it feel that now you could be in the running to go after the other guy in Toronto that is also a multi-million-dollar franchise top player in Auston Matthews, assuming, of course, he does go to free agent status? There's a reason to believe the San Jose Sharks would go after him, but there's an entirely other conversation as to whether or not he'd want to sign, but I guess we'll get there when we get there, right? We are a year out. We have more than enough time to explore these conversations of Matthews going to other teams around the NHL, especially in that California area. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this idea of Auston Matthews eventually going to the Sharks in free agency? If Matthews ends up signing a contract before this video is uploaded, then hey, I am the ultimate fool and clown out there, aren't I? Or maybe I am that, even if he doesn't sign a contract. Maybe because I made this video, that already makes me a clown. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Matthews and the San Jose Sharks? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.